We are also introducing a new component, a pledge to affirm AES's long-lasting commitment to peace. Finally, we will close with a music performance from the Trian Music Honor Society. Our world has never had such a large percentage of humanity living in privilege and wealth. At the same time, never has our globe been at a higher risk of fundamentally disrupting basic living conditions. Let's stop making world peace only an aim for the politicians and policymakers. In this day and age, it is no longer acceptable to be a bystander. We need to take personal responsibility for making our world better and making world peace our own goal. Thank you. We now have a video.
The term human is more than just the designation of a species. Unlike how being a Bos taurus implies cowness or being a Phoenicopterus roseus implies flamingo-ness, being a Homo sapiens doesn't imply humanness. No, being human is something more than that. So, what is this humanness? Well, it's a function of what I call your circle of compassion. The circle of compassion is simply the range of people that you care about. For something like a tree, something incapable of complex thought, that only extends to the tree itself. As complexity increases, the range also increases. A duck cares not just for itself, but also for its offspring. An elephant might care for itself, its offspring, and the other elephants in its herd, maybe even all of the elephants it's ever met. But humans, well, humans are something special. Humans have the ability to expand their circle of compassion to encompass not just their children, not just the people they know, but all of humankind. And we don't stop there. We have the capacity to care about all of the creatures on our planet, present and future. To be human, to have humanity, is to have an infinite circle of compassion. And yet, all of us are guilty of transgressing that circle through acts of hatred or violence, whether deliberate or accidental. Every time we shun another human, our circle of compassion shrinks a little bit. When we destroy our environment or neglect our neighbors, we become a little bit less human. That's why human is more than just a species designation. It's a goal, it's a virtue, but most of all, it's a responsibility. A responsibility to ourselves, to our planet, and to each other.
Hello, I'm Arya Banti, and I'd like all of you to close your eyes and imagine a bright white light. Behind this bright light, envisage a world of fury, a world where blood is involved, and people's faces are scarred to such an extent one is unable to tell friend from foe. A world filled with conflicts, from small skirmishes to full-on raging wars. Now erase that image, and replace it with a picture of everyone holding hands and singing as one. A world where no person has fear in their hearts. A world of collaboration and unity. A world of peace. Does our planet Earth resemble such a utopian planet? Society? No, which is why what we truly need is change. Change through a growth mindset. A growth mindset is defined as the belief that we can change, that our brains are not hardwired, and we must use this to achieve tranquility and serenity. In our world, we are surrounded by condemnation, suppression, and aggression. We must work together to minimize this condemnation and suppression while transforming our aggression into positive energy that we can use to move forward in achieving a peaceful environment. John F. Kennedy stated that our problems are man-made, therefore they may be solved by man, and man can be as big as he wants. No problem of human destiny is beyond human beings. This is the mindset we must aim for, a mindset we must collectively evolve into. But in reality, people wait for others to take the lead. And if all of us have this mindset, then who will lead us? This is why we, together, must change. It is impossible to change the world in one day, but we can start somewhere. And why not start within our community, our grades, our school ambience. But how? How should high schoolers, teachers, and parents change the way they think? If one is not performing too well, and one does not move forward with the ideology that the mind was just not meant for school and study, on the contrary, we should look at our work with aspiration. We can grow, we can improve. We have amazing teachers around us, all willing to help. Ask them for advice, or even better, seek assistance from your peers. Likewise, friends might get into an argument, thus affecting the way our school's ambience is perceived. But with a growth mindset, they can learn to see each other's perspectives and can help build stronger friendships with one another. Both these examples are similar to a puzzle. Everybody starts out with a small piece, and if everybody pitches in and helps, the process becomes more efficient and everybody ends up solving the puzzle. This is how we can improve our work as well as our school ambience. Furthermore, this foundation of having a growth mindset can help you in the future. Through this growth mindset, anything is possible, even spreading the message of peace. And now I'd like to invite Kabir on stage for the Peace Pledge.
Ladies and gentlemen, we, the American Embassy School High School Community 2018-2019, pledge that we commit to treating all lives with loving kindness and compassion.
We reject the distortions of religious, national, and racial prejudice, which are used to violate the golden rule to treat others as we wish to be treated.
We respect the diverse ways that people pursue their individual ideals.
We challenge the misuse of beliefs, rites, rituals, practices, philosophies, and traditions used to degrade anyone or that lead to violence.
We affirm the necessity to bring loving kindness and compassion into action.
We, through such actions, seek to improve the relationships of people, one nation to another, one religion to another, one belief system to another, one gender to another, one race to another, and one person to another.
We call upon all people of goodwill to join this pledge.
We pledge that in all we intend, think, and do, we strive to bring loving kindness and compassion into action and into our lives to all we meet.
Can you please have the second video?
I'm not here to just throw another definition. Peace is the state when you become a vegetable. This is what most people define it as. You have no more desires. You sit on top of a mountain with your eyes closed, and a lot of people think that like you're a vegetable at that point. No. No. Peace is within you. Peace, right now, peace is within you. You know that? Did you know that? It's right now, it's within you. So why don't you define it for me? Feel it. And you will realize there are no words adequate for that description. Peace is when this heart is filled with the gratitude for what you have been given without wanting more. Peace is when you understand the value of this blessing called the breath that you have been given. Peace is to admire that one beautiful lifetime every single day. So I haven't defined it. but I've told you what I feel. Pieces. It's a smile. It's a tear. It's a feeling. And when you know it, there is no mistake.
Ignore the moving projector. So a major theme of Prem Rawat's speech was that peace stems from within. He described peace as a feeling, and that when one knows it, there is no mistaking it. But how does one find this peace? For most of us, reflecting for long stretches of time is not the most ideal means to finding this so-called inner peace. The answer to that question lies less with meditation and more with combining authenticity with passion to find true harmony. Take a moment to reflect on one activity that you genuinely enjoy. An activity that you are not obliged to do, but you do regardless because of how enjoyable it is. That is an authentic experience. Considering that AES is such a diverse community, it should come as no surprise that all of us are talented in different fields. Some of us are promising athletes, others are gifted visual artists. To each of us, our activity is more than just a casual pastime. It is something we can do for as long as we want to without ever losing interest, for this is how meaningful the activity is to us. Take me for instance. When I play the piano, it's not because someone is forcing me to do so, or because I need something different and worthwhile to enhance my college applications. Rather, I play the piano because of how cathartic the activity is for me. I can play the piano for hours and hours and not notice the time go by, for this experience is an authentic one, at least in my case. There's no external pressure for me to perform and succeed. Rather, it is the internal motivation that pushes me to practice more and perform well. The question, however, is how to take that authentic activity and turn it into something that isn't just meaningful for you, but also meaningful for the global community. The easiest avenue to do this is through service. If you're an artist, you could perhaps design homes with service organizations that aim to improve the living conditions of individuals who are not as privileged as we are. If you are a musician, you could possibly organize a fundraising service concert whose purpose is to give scholarships to rising and impoverished musicians. If you're an athlete, you could potentially organize a free service training camp to help children learn different types of sports. The opportunities are quite limitless. If one is truly driven and passionate about their activity and is willing to grow in the pursuit of improvement, then that activity is authentic. By choosing to undertake service, one is able to spread the authenticity of this activity and influence numerous other individuals, showing in turn how all of the three teams spoken about today are interrelated. To focus on developing peace within the individual, while the other one focuses on sharing this peace with the community. Anything is possible if one is passionate enough to go to the extremes in order to reach success. For when the heart is set on an action and the mind grants its full support, then the possibilities are nothing short of endless. Thank you. On a different note, music is a language that all of us are capable of speaking, playing, or understanding. Regardless of its genre or time period, music has the mystical power to connect individuals from across the world. The piece being presented today is no different. Originally commissioned for the Diamond Method Conference in 2011, this piece is not only special for its lyrics and melody, but today marks the first time that this piece will be played outside the hallowed halls of the Qatar National Convention Center. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to the AES Trying Music Honor Society, alongside members of our high school community as they perform The World Is Our Home, composed by Russell Robinson and arranged by Carl Strong.
Okay, thank you very much for everyone so far. We're going to take what is a traditional photograph, a Peace Day photograph, and it's going to be on the Tiger turf. I would even invite parents, if you'd like to be involved in that, you certainly can. So on the screen here, let's maybe dim the lights just a little so we can see. So we are going to do a peace sign, not a Mercedes sign this year. So the blue spokes you see, and when we get out to the Tiger turf, you'll see cones that are going to show us the circle and then the lines on the inside. If you're in grade 11, you're going to be the blue spokes that you see there. Orange will be faculty and any parents that would like to join us. The right hand, a little, what looks to be more of an orange color is 9th grade. On the left, kind of that lime green section of the arc of the circle is 10th grade. And then the bottom, or the front part of the circle will be our seniors. Okay? So take a couple of seconds to look at that, make sure you know where you're going to stand. And then I'm going to ask, hang on a second, please. I'm going to ask this half of the theater, if you would kind of go out those doors, and this half of the theater, if you would go out those doors, and we're heading to the Tiger turf. Thank you, everyone, and thank you to the board organizers.